All right, you degenerates, you finally get it. It's a red day. I know I don't have many of them. And usually when I do, sometimes they're a little bit bigger. But I'm sorry to say, this is kind of just like it's a red day, a little bit bigger than it probably should have been. But nothing really to kind of, get too upset about. Just a frustrating day overall. Took four total trades. And DHT being the first one here, you can see previous resistance, yesterday's high 950, makes a really nice move up to 10. Probably could have waited for it to go through 10 to get my first ad. Was looking to, or first entry, was looking to get an ad up at 1020. Didn't quite get there, so was kind of stuck in no man's land. I did have my take profit. We only took 100 shares here. I have my take profit at 75. It came down, tested 80. Didn't want to get down through 80. Probably would have taken it off if it just went down to like 77, 78 or something like that. But couldn't get through 80 and came all the way back up, and I wasn't going to let it go against me. So I took it off basically for -4 cents. I ended up getting a little bit of, did I have 200 shares on this? I did. Okay. So I had 200 shares, which would make sense because I was looking to make, what did I have here? 95, 75. Yeah, that would have been $40. That's what I was looking to make. But unfortunately, we didn't get that push and came back up. Wasn't going to let it go against me. Stopped out for 2 cents. I actually hit it when I was at break even, but got a little 2 cent slippage there. And we ended up losing $4. And as you can see, it did come right back down after that, but it still didn't test 75, but it did get the 76. Again, probably would have just taken it off there. A little frustrating because that could have been a nice opening trade. But then next trade was ALLK. This one was actually a really nice move. It was on almost no volume, which was probably the sketch part, probably why I should have played this differently once I was in it. Probably shouldn't have been in it to begin with. I went back and checked. It was 140,000 volume total at the time I got into the trade. So a little frustrated with myself because I don't usually play those, but I think I've just been getting a little anxious lately, feeling a little confident. And I really wanted to kind of just start taking some more trades. I like in my head, that's what I want. But I gotta talk myself out of it. And it's always nice to get these reminders that that's what needs to happen. And thankfully, it wasn't that big of a cost. So previous resistance down here, 635. It did make a decent move on this candle here. It went from 670 all the way up to 710, basically. And I liked it. It was a decent move, got up through 7, was looking for it to at least come back down and test 7. And if I remember putting my take profit out, it was probably somewhere down here around like 688. But as you're going to see, just decided to keep grinding a little bit higher. Just started this one with 100, added 100. And I believe this was the only point that we were green. And it was like barely. I think we were like 722. It got the 719. Something like that. I want to say it was 722. It was around there, but I'm pretty sure this little wick down was just under our average, and it was the only time I think we were green on this trade. But we end up adding here on the way down after it makes a pop up to 753, and this time it gets down right to our average. I think our average was 731 or something. So maybe it did click a penny under. I think it was 731. Might have been 732. I don't remember. But as you're going to see, it comes right back up, didn't take any off, was looking for the bigger move down. And at this point, it starts rejecting. As you can see, it rejected 52. The high was 53. It did it again here, 51. So when it rejected here, I actually added, as it was coming down, 747. So I was getting my average up. And then right here, it started to reject again. But at this point, I'm like, okay, it looks like it wants to go through. But if it doesn't, I'm going to just add some size, which I ended up adding 400 more shares, giving us a total of 1,000 shares, but I'm going to stop out at the highs. And as you can see, this actually brought our average up to 742, and it comes down to 742, bounces 743, 747, starts working its way back up, comes back down a little bit, 44. And I'm like, come on, man, you're getting heavy. At least give us like these previous areas, because then we could at least take some off if we want, reduce the risk, take a little bit of profit. Because at this point we have 1,000 shares, so you don't need that much to start making some decent money. But it just goes sideways and then spikes up and goes higher. So we end up stopping out of all of our shares, got a little bit of slippage there. Was trying to cut at 754. We got filled pretty much everything at 759. and we took a $168 loss on it. We did try to get back in once we thought we had the backside. It went up, made that new high, came up, rejected it, had a nice little move down, came back up, couldn't get above that previous high. So basically looking for it to make a lower high. And we were right temporarily, but I was looking for it to come down below and actually make the big move down through 750. Took 300 shares here. Originally, when I took it, I was only risking like 30 bucks. Could have made 30 bucks when it came down here, but I was looking for the much bigger move down towards at least 750 to take some off and whatnot. Comes back up right to our break even. We take it off. Right after it decides to go down there and test 750. And then it did go all the way back up to the highs, but it eventually does fade the rest of the day. I don't think I would have still been in it. I was only looking to take 100 of the 300 off here. Would have been looking for the bigger move. Probably take the rest off here at break even. So wouldn't have made that much back. I only would have made like 10 bucks back. So in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was literally a break even trade as I got in at 71 and out at 71. So frustrating, it ended up working, but it is what it is. There's going to be times that you have a really good hand in poker and they lose. It's just how it is. Same thing goes with trading. So Coin, I don't know why I typed in Dish. Coin had some news, something about Binance needing help, or I don't remember exactly what it was, but SSR tried to get short 25 shares on the pop here. It was a really nice level too. I was telling myself, when it was down here, like 55.50, yeah, you could see this pretty obvious like area, resistance, support. But I was telling myself, it didn't like none of these candles looked good at this point, right? I was still looking for that like pop candle. And I was like, well, if we can get that pop candle right into this previous resistance here, I'd be interested. And that's exactly what it did. I hit the short the ask button because it was SSR, 57.11. It was down below that, obviously, pops back up, fills me 5 of the 25 shares on something that was trading 1 million shares every 2 minutes, basically. And I end up getting the nice pullback, take off my 5 shares, and I made $6 instead of $30+ dollars. So I kind of took that as a sign that today is just not my day. And basically called it quits mentally at that point. I was still looking for trades, but nothing popped up anyway that was worth looking at. And yeah, that's all I got for you. So I know for some reason these videos get more views. People, I think, like to find other traders losing, maybe because it's relatable if they're struggling. But I don't like to lose. It's not something that I do often, and when I do, they're usually much smaller. They've been like these break-even type losses, like I had on DHT. I haven't really had ones like ALLK where they just kind of go up and grind and grind and grind, because I don't really play those tickers anymore. That's not my edge. So when I originally got that push, I probably could have got out of it maybe right here after this ad, when it kind of tried to pull back and then curled up. Like I could have cut it there. It would have been like a $30 loss, a $40 loss, something like that. But my strategy says if it hasn't attempted a pullback yet, it's okay to stay in the trade. And that's what I was doing. I was waiting for the actual pullback. And had I not got so aggressive here, getting all these ads, technically when it goes through the highs here, we still haven't had an attempt at a pullback. So maybe if I do like a 112, which I did, and then I don't get these ads, when it goes through, I could still be holding with only 400 shares instead of 1,000. And when it comes up here, I could hit it for either 200 more or 400 or whatever, get my average up a little bit, and then it never actually goes through that level again. And we finally get an actual attempt at a pullback, which was here. I don't know where my average would have been. I don't know if I would have held through these attempts at high day. I think I would have, because at that point, I probably would have had myself mentally set for high day. But if I took 400 shares there, I'm assuming my average would have been somewhere around the 750 area. And we only would have had 800 shares. So I would have only been risking what's that, like 250, 300, something or in that ballpark, which my max loss is $1,000. So I still wouldn't have been risking that much at my current rate with 1,000 shares at 742, the high 779. So what's that, $370. So it is what it is, right? It's all hindsight at this point, but could I have played it better? Yeah, Um, did I let my emotions get to me and make these decisions? Yeah. Did I cut it here because of that? Yeah. So could I trade it better next time? Yeah. Should I be in it next time? No, I don't think I should have been in this at all. It had 140,000 volume total when I first got in, and it was like what, the fourth candle in. So we were 8 minutes in to the day, and it made this move on 140,000 volume. Um, that I think I don't typically play those, but like I said, I think maybe my emotions of just wanting to continue to trade since the confidence was building kind of led me into this one, and it bit me. So lesson learned, and we're going to move forward to tomorrow. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Always appreciate the support. If you do have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those down below. If you want to bash me saying, ha ha ha, I knew it, you're a red trader. Guess what? Well, if you're still here, let me go ahead and just show you. I was just looking at my my chart here. Let's see if I can make it a little bit more appropriate for you. So this is still from January 2021, but today, that's all. That's what it did to my overall. A little like blip in the radar there. So I'm not too worried about it. We're gonna move on to tomorrow. That's where I'll see you live if you join me in the morning, and if not, I'll see you in the recap when I put it out. Peace.